And welcome to Hannity this Friday night. We start with this Fox News alert. Former President Donald Trump is now on stage at a massive rally in Reno, Nevada, and we're going to take some of his remarks coming up straight ahead. First, we check in with his opponent, Kamala Harris, who is starting, well, to lose it on the campaign trail, and that's saying it mildly. Take a look.
So when we think about what's at stake in this election, whoa, it's packed with some stuff. It's packed with some fundamental stuff. I say rather articulately.
Now, despite all the nervous giggling, bizarre giggling, the joy is absolutely gone. Kamala is now dropping in the polls in state after state, hemorrhaging support among Hispanic Americans, African American men. Barack Obama, well, he was brought in for support, and he said they were not supporting Kamala, and even suggested because she's a woman, accusing, African American men of sexism. I doubt that will be particularly helpful. In reality, many are supporting Donald Trump because their lives were simply better under his administration. Let's look at the numbers. Under Trump, 4.1 million Americans were lifted out of poverty, while under Obama, the amount of people living under poverty went up 787,000, according to Fox Business. Minority groups experienced what was the largest improvements, while the overall poverty rate declined 1.3%. Percentage points. Black poverty, African American poverty fell by 2 percentage points. Hispanic American poverty fell by 1.8 percentage points. Asian American poverty, that fell by 2.8%. And that's not all. Wages were also way up for everyone. Quote, while the overall growth rate was 6.8%, real median income grew by an even greater 7.9% for African Americans, 7.1% for Hispanic Americans, 10.6% for Asian Americans. Now, meanwhile, inflation was almost non-existent, but under Biden and Harris, things have changed. Americans are struggling to get by. But those first 3 years, record low after record low after record low. Unemployment for African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, women in the workplace, African American youth unemployment. Before the pandemic, we were rolling. Now Kamala is only offering more of the same, or frankly worse, if her stated positions ever became reality. In fact, with her radical economic views and her stated plans on new taxes, we would as a country be in huge trouble if she gets elected. It is radical. It is extreme. It would be, well, the new Green Deal would be the end of capitalism as we know it. Other than constantly claiming that she grew up in a middle class, which seems to be the answer to like every question, Kamala has no plan to bring down prices. But she did go on Univision last night, and she did unveil a brand new accent. Take a listen.
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
Yes, they are, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. Does Kamala have a plan to fix the economy? No. Does she have a plan to fix the border? Absolutely not. Will she bring peace in the Middle East and Europe? Will she hold Iran in check? Definitely not. But she does have a lot of different accents. Take a look.
Have you no empathy, man?
Yes.
You know.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters. And my sorors.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
You all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that?
And yesterday, extremists passed book bans, and this year of our war 2024.
The courts are going to handle that. We're going to beat them in November.
Do I see people testifying? Can I get a witness?
Okay. Luckily, there is more to the Harris campaign than nervous giggling and fake accents. But the giggling, it's getting weird, to use their favorite phrase. Take a look.
Roughly $1 trillion with a T. I had to.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
One of the things I love are Venn diagrams. I
I love Venn diagrams. More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to bring their kids and saying, we're not paying them nearly enough.
I'm not giggling when I go to the grocery store, if I fill up my car, when I see unvetted Harris Biden illegal immigrants and read stories they commit murder and rape and other violent crimes, and it's costing tens and tens of billions of dollars. I'm not laughing when FEMA, we find out that $1 billion was raided out of FEMA, which is supposed to help Americans during disasters, and that money went to Harris Biden unvetted illegals. I'm not laughing when they're lifting sanctions and making the mullahs in Iran rich again so that they can foment more of their terror as the #1 state sponsor of terror. Now, she can laugh and giggle, but this weekend her campaign is rolling out Kamala's running mate to woo male voters. According to Politico, quote, the Harris campaign is sending the Minnesota governor on a man-focused media blitz. Okay, what's that? That includes football-focused TV interviews, pheasant hunting with digital influencers. Okay? After all, what blue-collar guy doesn't relate to a pheasant hunting trip with influencers? For the record, I've never been pheasant hunting. But the governor's first stop on his man-focused media blitz was an interview with former NFL star Michael Strahan. And it didn't really go that well. And Michael's not exactly, the toughest interview in the world, but he did press him a little. Take a look.
Do you think that Biden's done everything right?
Well, look, I don't know if any of us do everything right, but I can tell you he's done everything in the best interest of the American public. He's listened to what the public did. He's asked for answers, and I think, and reevaluated afterwards. And I think if your values and the judgments you're making and the ethical decisions you're making, he's done that.
He said, I think all of us know the Electoral College needs to go. But the campaign came out later that night, and they said that's not their stance.
Yeah. Well, it's not the campaign's position. And the point I'm trying to make is that there's folks that feel every vote must count in every state.
So that's something that you and Vice President Harris disagree on?
I have spoken about it in the past, that she's been very clear on this, and the campaign, and my position is the campaign's position.
Can you make sense of that? I can't. Anyway, instead of trying to pander to different groups of people, maybe the Harris campaign should figure out what they stand for and what they're going to do for the country, short of, yeah, we like everything that Joe did. And, of course, Kamala's true ideology is so radical and extreme that most Americans, if they knew about it, wouldn't ever think about voting for her. So they're trying to fake their way into the White House, of course, with the help of the state-run media mob. And meanwhile, tonight, former President Trump, he's on the campaign trail. He's in Reno, Nevada, where he's holding a huge rally. As a matter of fact, let's take some of that live. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.